Good day to everyone tuning in, and welcome to our cooking journey today. We're about to embark on a culinary adventure that will tantalize your taste buds and satisfy your sweet tooth. Our recipe of the day is a classic, a treat that never fails to delight, the delectable chocolate cake. This isn't just any chocolate cake, no, this is a 7-minute wonder that is as easy to make as it is delicious. So, without further ado, let's dive into the world of sweet indulgence. First and foremost, we need to gather all our ingredients. Today's recipe calls for a delightful mix of pantry staples and decadent flavors. Let's begin with 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, the heart of our chocolate cake. Next, we'll need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, the backbone of our cake's structure. Then we move on to the sweet stuff, starting with 2 cups of sugar. For a bit of lift, we'll add 1.5 teaspoons each of baking powder and baking soda. Don't forget a teaspoon of salt to balance out the sweetness. Now for the wet ingredients. We'll need 2 eggs, 1 cup of whole milk, and half a cup of vegetable oil for moisture. And let's not forget 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract for that extra depth of flavor. Lastly, we'll need 1 cup of boiling water, a secret ingredient that will make our cake extra moist and fluffy. Now that we have all our ingredients, it's time to start the baking process. The first step in our baking journey is to prepare the cake batter. Now we're going to start by mixing the dry ingredients. This includes the cocoa, flour, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. The cocoa is what gives our cakes that deep chocolatey flavor, while the flour provides structure. The sugar, of course, sweetens the cake, and the baking powder and baking soda are leavening agents that will help our cake rise in the oven. Finally, a pinch of salt enhances the other flavors and balances out the sweetness. Take your time to whisk these dry ingredients together until they're well combined. This ensures that the ingredients are evenly distributed throughout the batter, which will give our cake a consistent texture and flavor. Next, we're going to add in the wet ingredients: the eggs, milk, oil, and vanilla extract. The eggs will help bind everything together, while the milk and oil add moisture. The vanilla extract brings a hint of warmth and sweetness that complements the rich cocoa flavor. Mix these wet ingredients into the dry ones, stirring gently but thoroughly. We want to avoid overmixing, as this can make the cake tough. However, we also want to ensure that everything is well incorporated, with no pockets of dry ingredients remaining. The last addition to our batter is boiling water. You might be wondering why we're adding hot water to a cake batter. The reason is that the heat of the water will help dissolve the cocoa, allowing it to fully release its flavor into the batter. It also contributes to the cake's moist, tender crumb. Stir the batter until the water is fully incorporated and the batter is smooth. It might seem thin, but don't worry. That's exactly what we're aiming for. This thin batter will bake up into a beautifully light and moist chocolate cake. And there we have it! Our smooth, rich chocolate cake batter is ready. Now, onto the exciting part: baking our cake. This is where the magic truly begins, where our efforts are rewarded with the delightful aroma of a fresh chocolate cake wafting through our kitchen. To start, we're going to preheat our oven. This step is crucial, as it ensures our cake will rise evenly and develop that irresistible golden brown crust. We'll set the temperature to 175 degrees Celsius, or if you're across the pond, that's 350 degrees Fahrenheit. While our oven is warming up, let's prepare our baking pan. We've put so much love into creating this batter, and we want to make sure nothing sticks and ruins our masterpiece. To prevent this, we'll generously grease our pan. A little trick to ensure even coverage is to use a piece of kitchen paper to spread the grease around. You can use butter, oil, or even a non-stick cooking spray, whatever you have on hand. Now that our pan is ready, it's time to pour in our luscious chocolate batter. Don't be shy, pour it all in. You'll want to spread it evenly with a spatula to ensure it bakes uniformly. Once that's done, into the oven it goes. Baking is a bit of a waiting game, but it's worth every second. We'll let our cake bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. Remember, every oven is unique, just like us. So it's a good idea to start checking around the 25-minute mark. If you insert a toothpick into the center and it comes out clean, your cake is ready. If it doesn't, give it a few more minutes. And there we have it. Our cake is in the oven, transforming into a piece of chocolatey heaven. But don't go too far, because while our cake is in the oven, it's the perfect time to clean up our workspace. After all, a tidy kitchen is a happy kitchen. Stay tuned as we move on to the next step. where we'll reveal our masterpiece and provide some serving suggestions to take this treat to the next level. After a tantalizing wait, our chocolate cake is ready for the grand reveal. It's a moment of pure joy when you open the oven door and see your creation come to life. But how do we know it's ready? Here's a simple trick. Take a toothpick and insert it right in the center of the cake. If it comes out clean, or with just a few moist crumbs clinging to it, your cake is perfectly baked. If there's wet batter on the toothpick, it needs a bit more time in the oven. Now, let's talk about serving this delight. There are countless ways to present your chocolate cake, and each adds a unique twist to the experience. For a classic touch, dust it with a little powdered sugar. The white sugar contrasts beautifully with the rich, dark cake and adds a touch of sweetness. If you're in the mood for a little extravagance, top it with a dollop of whipped cream. The cream's lightness balances the denseness of the cake, creating a harmony of textures. For a burst of freshness, consider adding some berries. The tartness of raspberries or the sweetness of strawberries can cut through the chocolate and make each bite a symphony of flavors. And there you have it, a scrumptious chocolate cake to satisfy your sweet tooth. Happy baking, and until next time.